Welcome aboard. You are invited on an exhilarating journey back to the era when the salty winds of adventure carried tales of daring exploits and buried treasures. Prepare to set sail on a voyage that will uncover the secrets of the infamous golden age of pirates. This is a story of legends. Legends of the high seas, of men who defied the rules and roamed free, living by their own code. Their names echo through time, synonymous with rebellion and freedom. Pirates. The mere mention of the word conjures up images of swashbuckling adventurers, hidden treasures, and life on the open seas. But what if I were to tell you that the golden age of piracy, often romanticized in stories and movies, was more complex than it may seem? In today's episode, we want to take you beyond the clichés and reveal the intricate details of this fascinating period. Our first stop on this journey is to understand what made this era so unique. So buckle up as we dive into the world of these legendary rogues. The Golden Age of Piracy, a term coined by historian Angus Constam, refers to a specific period in history between the 1650s and 1730s when piracy flourished in the Caribbean, along the coast of West Africa and in the Indian Ocean. What sparked this surge in maritime lawlessness? The answer lies in the economic and political climate of the time. During the 17th century, European powers, including Spain, Portugal, Britain, and France, were engaged in a relentless pursuit of wealth and resources. They established colonies and trading posts across the globe, amassing fortunes that fueled the coffers of both nations and private investors. But this prosperity came at a cost. The riches extracted from the New World and other regions were often transported on massive ships, laden with gold, silver, spices, and other valuable commodities. These became, as historian David Cordingly puts it, floating banks. Naturally, such wealth became a tempting target for those willing to risk it all. And so the golden age of piracy began. So, who were the real pirates back in the day? They weren't just the bloodthirsty villains we often hear about. Nope. They were a mixed bunch, all about defying the norm. Some were regular sailors fed up with terrible conditions and low pay, turning to piracy for a better life. Others were ex-soldiers and privateers using their skills for some quick cash. Take Bartholomew Roberts, for example. He started as a merchant sailor, got captured by pirates, and then decided to join them. And then there's Henry Every, who kicked things off as a privateer, plundering enemy ships during wartime. It's a wild story, right? As the Golden Age progressed, piracy evolved into a more organized criminal activity, with pirates forming crews, electing captains, and even keeping accounting ledgers. It wasn't just about seizing ships and looting their cargo. By the middle of the 17th century, piracy had become a business. To truly appreciate the intricacies of Golden Age piracy, we must explore the world they inhabited, from the bustling ports where their adventures began to the treasure-laden ships they targeted. Let's start with Nassau in the Bahamas. During the Golden Age of piracy, it was a major hub for pirates operating in the Caribbean. The Bahamas provided an ideal location for pirates because of its proximity to the Americas and Europe, which meant easy access to shipping routes frequented by merchant vessels laden with valuable cargo. Additionally, the porous nature of the Bahamian society at the time made it difficult for authorities to monitor the activities of pirates. Many of the islands were uninhabited, offering plenty of hiding places for pirate ships. Nassau, in particular, was known as a haven for pirates, thanks to its natural harbors and dense vegetation. Famous pirate hideouts included the New Providence, which was covered in thick bush, perfect for concealing ships. Pirates like Blackbeard used these areas to store their loot and lay low between voyages. Another important port during the Golden Age of piracy was Port Royal in Jamaica. Situated on the south coast of the island, Port Royal was a notorious center of vice and debauchery. Its location near major shipping routes made it a prime spot for pirates to dock their ships and sell their plunder. Port Royal was also known for its role as a base for privateers during the Anglo-Spanish War. As privateering declined, many privateers turned to piracy, and Port Royal became a hotbed of illicit activities. Then we have Cape Coast Castle in present-day Ghana. During the 17th century, Cape Coast Castle was a prominent hub for European traders, including the British, Danes, and Swedes. Its strategic location on the West African coast made it an essential point for the transportation of gold, ivory, and other valuable resources to Europe. The castle's commanding position on the coast ensured that any ships arriving or departing had to pass nearby, making it a prime spot for pirates to ambush their targets. These were just a few of the significant ports that played a crucial role during the golden age of piracy. Now let's turn our attention to the ships themselves, the floating fortresses that pirates sought to plunder. The vessels of the time varied in size and purpose, but some common types included galleons, which were large, flat-bottomed ships used primarily by the Spanish and Portuguese. They were commonly targeted by pirates due to their valuable cargo. Brigantines were fast, maneuverable ships used by both pirates and navies. Their speed made them challenging to capture, but also a favorite choice for pirates. Among the most intriguing aspects of Golden Age piracy were the battles that took place between pirate crews and their targets. These confrontations were not merely acts of violence, but showcases of skill, strategy, and sheer audacity. Armed with cutlasses, pistols, and often cannons, pirates boarded enemy ships in a display of daring that has become legendary. The tactics they employed were often surprising, such as using smaller boats to approach their targets under the cover of darkness. Once on board, the pirates engaged in fierce hand-to-hand combat to overpower the crew and plunder the ship's cargo. Famous battles like the confrontation between Blackbeard and British naval forces off the coast of North Carolina in 1718 highlight the intensity and drama of these encounters. Despite their reputation, pirates were not invincible and many lost their lives in battle or through other means. As we continue our exploration of the Golden Age of pirates, we encounter figures whose names have echoed through history, becoming synonymous with adventure, cunning, and sometimes brutality. Among them, Blackbeard stands out as one of the most infamous pirates of the Golden Age. His real name was Edward Teach or Thatch. He was born in England around 1680 and is believed to have died in 1718 after a battle with British naval forces off the coast of North Carolina. Blackbeard was known for his ruthlessness and skill in combat. He commanded a fleet of ships and amassed a fortune in treasure. His story has been immortalized in books, films, and television shows. Another legendary pirate of the Golden Age was Henry Morgan, a Welshman who is said to have been born in 1635. Morgan gained fame for his attacks on Spanish settlements in the Caribbean. He was known for his military-like precision and discipline among the pirates. In 1687, he was knighted by King Charles II of England for his contributions to the capture of Panama. After retiring from piracy, he spent his fortune in Jamaica, where he died in 1698. Then we have Bonnie, an Irish pirate who is said to have been born around 1700. She is remembered for her beauty and fierce determination. Bonnie began her life as a noblewoman, but after being disinherited, she turned to piracy. She joined forces with Calico Jack Rackham and together they plundered ships in the Caribbean. Bonnie's story has been romanticized in fiction, highlighting her intelligence and cunning. Finally, let's discuss the lure of the high seas that drew these adventurers to a life of piracy. For many, it was the promise of untold riches that lured them away from the safety of landlubbery life. The vast oceans were seen as a path to unimaginable fortunes, a chance to strike it rich and escape the drudgery of everyday existence. The romantic notion of freedom and adventure further fueled the lure of piracy. Life on the high seas was anything but ordinary. It was a constant dance with danger, a test of courage and resilience in the face of the unforgiving elements. However, despite the hardships, the Golden Age of pirates was an era of opportunity, a time when men and women from all walks of life could come together and carve their destinies on the waves. It was an era when the boundaries of convention were blurred and the only limits were those set by one's own ambition and fearlessness. Today, the Golden Age of piracy continues to captivate our imagination. Pirates have become symbols of rebellion against societal norms and challenges to authority. Their daring exploits and tales of buried treasure have become part of our cultural heritage, inspiring countless books, films, and works of art. Thank you for joining us on this journey back to the golden age of piracy. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. We've got more exciting historical tales waiting to be discovered. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and remember, there's a whole world of history out there just waiting to be uncovered.